Okay. All right. We are recording now. There
Hey,
we go.
Alyssa.
Hey, how's it going?
It's good. Hi, everybody. We wanted to talk to you about the Sacred Sensuality workshop that we're doing. Um, I have been,
Yay!
yay! I've been talking to a lot of people, and there's a lot of women who are very excited about what we're doing. And as I've been putting posters up around my town, I've noticed that they've been being taken down. And that makes me um, realize that what we're doing is something that might be misunderstood, or that it might actually bring up fear for people. And so we just thought it would be great to have a conversation about what it is we actually are doing and dispel any misunderstandings about the Sacred Sensuality workshop. So
Mm.
um, as a body worker, as a dancer, as someone who's worked with people for uh, 30 years, I really have come to understand that movement and being in your body is the fastest way to be able to really come into relationship with yourself that can be loving and kind and compassionate by clearing the junk that kind of tends to tighten us up and lock us down. So in the ecstatic dance portion of the workshop, we have free movement where you can just move however you want to with yourself. And the whole point is that for us to be able to reclaim our bodies, to reclaim our sense of ourselves and like who we are and how we want to show up. And a lot of times we're not in situations that really encourage and allow that. So this workshop is going to be very much about just encouraging you to find yourself and your own way of expressing yourself, your own way of moving, and your own way of like sort of freeing yourself up to breathe into the wholeness of who you are. So when I had those posters start to disappear, it really made me think, well, what is it about what we're doing that would be so disturbing to someone that they would feel the need to take the posters down? And what I realize is that probably a lot of people don't have any other relationship to sensuality other than sexuality, and that most people haven't even heard of lap dance except in relationship to like a strip club or prostitution or women trying to turn men on. And this is not at all what this workshop's about. This workshop is totally about women reclaiming themselves, their own relationship with themselves, their own physical empowerment around movement and power. And I was just hoping that Alissa would speak to, you're the one who's doing the lap dancing. You've been doing this, you've been, offering this to women with great success. So I thought maybe if you could just talk more about what that is and why you want to do that and what we can look forward to.
Absolutely. And it's just so beautifully said as well about this being a day about expression and freeing up part of ourselves that maybe we haven't explored before, or haven't felt comfortable exploring before, or exploring in a space where it's not about turning someone else on. I really see what we're doing and what I'm doing specifically as well is about kind of what turns you on, but not even necessarily like in a sexual context. It's more about what turns you on in life, like what makes you feel excited, what makes you want to move, what makes you want to dance in our case. But like what turns you on in life, like what are you passionate about? And this is definitely something that I'm passionate about because I mean, I wouldn't consider myself even a dancer. I took dance growing up, but it wasn't until I started taking pole dance and lap dance that I was like, I just never felt like I could do something like this for me. And like even being married for over a decade, like I could not feel sexy or comfortable in my body, even knowing that like I knew my husband found me attractive, but it's like I could never feel that way for myself until I started doing this work for myself. And I call it work because I think it is, I mean, I do think it is work. We're going deep and we are exploring things that are uncomfortable and scary, and we are being incredibly vulnerable, because we're putting all of ourselves on display. And when I say that, I'm not talking about nudity. I mean, like, we are really showing up as all of us, all of ourselves. And I feel like by exploring this part of ourselves that we might not have felt comfortable doing so before, I feel like it just opens things up, and it gives us this opportunity to kind of move into this higher potential for ourselves, which comes back to this notion of it being sacred. I think that, women are amazing. And the fact that, like, women have, everyone on this planet has come from a woman. Like, how amazing is that? Like, when you just think about it for a second, like, how is there not power in who we are? And to kind of negate that, I think is, and both through ourselves and society and politics and government and all of that, like, clearly people are threatened by women owning their power and their sensuality for whatever reason. And I feel like it's really important for us to reclaim that, because there is this innate power in all of us, and why not bring it out into the world and kind of allow ourselves to be this way for ourselves rather than about someone else. So I call it lap dance. I feel like I'm talking a lot, but I call it lap dance because ultimately you have an opportunity to do a dance for someone, but it is not about them. Like, you could have a chair there. You don't have to have a chair there. Like, it is about you dancing for you and showing all of you and showing up fully. And the other person, if there's someone else there, if you choose to do a dance for someone else, they are privileged to witness you and all your power. So it's nothing like a lap dance in a strip club. Those women are amazing. And I give them full credit. Like, they are phenomenal. But this is really about owning it for you. And it's about your journey and what feels comfortable and what feels good for you. So even though our approaches are different, ultimately you will come away feeling more comfortable, confident, and free in your body, and just expressing all of you and all of who you are. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I think it's really important work. So.
Me too. And it's up against, hundreds and hundreds of years of women's oppression, where women were not, weren't allowed to speak, vote, act, dress the way they wanted to. There's just so heavy a load of what women have been allowed to do and not allowed to do. And so much of that has to do around, physical empowerment and feeling like I belong and I am worthy. And I have what's the word, is like ownership of myself.
Yeah.
I have ownership of myself so that I can truly feel that sense of power and strength and beauty and grace, and, feel free to express that. Yeah. So we're doing something that's a little heretical, frankly. And
we're rebels. We like to rebel.
That's right. And to call it sacred sensuality is really about calling in the power of the universe, the power of the feminine, the power of our, divinity, and to really embody the divine feminine. So we hope that you'll join us. Our workshop is on April 27th at the Ballroom in Harrison. And for more information, you can look here. I think this is going to show up on the event website. And do you have anything else to say, Lisa?
I just want to add that, kind of going back to your question or your kind of comment about worth, just that this is about feeling worthy without needing someone else's approval or anyone else thinking you're sexy or attractive or whatever or good enough. This is about you finding that for yourself and you standing up in that worth for yourself. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks of you. Like, I am confident and I can stand proudly in who I am. So we would love to see you there, and we'd love to see you own every inch of you and be like, this is me, this is all of me, and I am proud to be who I am.
Right. Cool.
So thank you for watching. We'd love to see you. Any questions, just get in touch.
Indeed. Blessings.